Hello! I have a new video for you guys today. This is kind of a sample of it. I also did a different one, like this. This one's got the purple on it, so it kind of depends on the colors you like. This one is brown with purple is the theme, so I added some jams to it and everything else. So I'm going to show you how to make these calla lilies. So today I'm using Crafter's Companion products. I am in love with their stuff lately. So that's why I'm going to incorporate a little bit of everything, but you're going to see quite a bit of them lately. First of all, I bought a mini Gemini by Crafter's Companion cutter, which is perfect to sit on a table for little dies. Takes up very little space. You can take it anywhere, so it's just absolutely wonderful. I love it so far. And it's very strong, cuts really well. So the main one today is going to be this one, the Calla Lily one. This is the main die. It comes with stamps and dies, and the price is only $10 on their site. On the craft, if you go to crafterscompanion.com, basically I'm quite satisfied with this company. If there's anything ever wrong with their product, you just let them know, and they have replaced everything from markers to basically anything I ever had to deal with there's being a problem. They took care of it. So their customer service so far for me has been amazing. And the product is so beautiful. Who sells dies and stamps for $10? Barely anybody. And they have video tutorials on everything too. So if you ever need to see their stuff, just go visit them. So today I'm going to show you how I'm going to make this card. So I have different stuff. This is their new one that they just came out within the last couple of weeks. Then I also have this expired one. It's Sheena. She's one of the artists that does stuff for Crafter's Companion. And this was on clearance on their site. I bought it and the die works perfect. This little die goes right on here. I don't have the stamps to it. It'd be great if I would have had it, but it's okay. I'll show you how I take care of it without having it. So we're going to use this little die here, the smallest size of a petal. Then I'm using this gorgeous die. It's a Poinsettia Perfection Victorian frame, and you would never say it's Christmassy. There's nothing Christmassy about it. You can see it right here. So I'll show you a little bit more about it. So it cuts out the middle, which I have right here in white, and it also cuts out the outside frame if you want to layer it. See how in the picture they have brown? So on the edge you can kind of see how it's brown, so because there's a backing sheet to it. So you can either not cut out the middle or you can cut it out. And then I'll show you a word I'm using. So let's start from the beginning and go from there. So first of all, I have a different sheet of paper that I have here that I'm going to use to stick on my card base. The regular card base. I'm going to use the regular, just my tape, and then the extra sticky in the middle, runner right in the middle, just so it doesn't make that bubble when you open up the card or look at it or twist it or anything. I tried to prepare as much as I could, but we'll see. There's quite a few steps to it, so I'll try to go as fast as I can and explain as much as I can as we go. I decided not to divide it into two separate videos. Okay, so there's our base. This is like a marble paper. Yeah, I can't remember where it came from, but so I had this one left over that I'm using. So this die right here, the Poinsettia one, is the next layer. So here's the die cut of it. Let's see if a black sheet or some kind of a... Here, I'll put it on the gold so you can see it. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that just gorgeous right there? Just beautiful. Okay, so have you noticed I did not cut out the middle? Right there, and left the middle part in there. Right there, you can see it on the black. There we go. I did not cut it out, but I did cut out an extra sheet with this middle die right here. Right there. I did cut it out because I'm going to place it right on here. So let's put that right on there. Just going to use some glue on it. This is Calla glue by Crafter's Companion. Pretty good glue. I like it. It's not the best one to use on non-porous material like mirror paper or something like that, but it's perfect because it gives you some time to move it around and straighten it right where you would like it to be. Okay, so there's that. And then with this lace one, I'm gonna pop it up a little bit. That's what I'm gonna do. Like that. And you can put as many as you like on there. It's totally up to you. Let's take all of those things off. We're gonna put this right on top here. Just center it the best you can on here. Just like that. Okay. So I gave it a little bit of a 3D, gave that shadow effect and everything. We're gonna put this aside, let it sit there while we do the rest. So, the little mini machine. So, it attaches really nicely. I can't pull it off. I mean, literally, I can pick up my glass mat with it. And to take it off, it's easy. You just pull it this way, and the little section things come off. I love it. I absolutely love it. So, I'm going to put these ready flowers aside for now. I'm going to show you how it die cuts. So, it's got these little folders that come with it. It does warp like any cutting plates do. So, you just put this on here. I'm going to do a matching theme of cream colored. So, I'm going to put that right on here to die cut it. Put it in the middle and die cut. Make sure to rotate your plates just like you do with any of your plates in the Big Cake Sizzix die cut. In any of them, just like you do with that. You have to do the same thing here. And you flip them over. You open it like this and you can flip it over and cut it on any direction. So all directions you can die cut right on there. Okay, so we're gonna do one more cut before I forget. So here's our little cut here, little petal. You don't need this part, so we can take that off and throw it away. But what we are gonna do is die cut the calla lily. And we're gonna die cut it first. Okay, so same thing. This is a perfect little folder. It fits even something this size right there. And this is the largest calla lily in the set. And I'm doing this one out of white paper just to kind of show you a few different things. So this petal right here, this came out of the Sheena set, like I told you. So let's put it back on here just in case you're wondering one more time. It's in there. So there's that one. So the Calla lily, let's work with this next. So it comes with a big die, which is this one we just used right here. I did it in white so I can show you the coloring method, the way you can do it. But you can do it in green. These ones I did in green and then colored it in. It's actually I inked it up first with the inks. They're archival. What is the color of this one? Leaf green one. So I did it with this one first. And then cut it out of the paper. This one I'm going to show you how to color with markers. Let's do the stamping first. I'm going to use the archival stamp because I want to make sure it dries quickly. I don't want to have to worry about it. So I'm going to use my stamping platform. Okay, so put it in here. I tape it up on both sides to make sure it doesn't move. Then get the stamp, line it all up right on top. I think the best way of lining this one up is by petals, the leaves, the green leaves that you have here. So I think that is the best way to match it up. If those match, you should be just fine. Then close it up. This way I can do it as many times as I like and it's going to stay in place. I'm going to do it in black. You can do it in green, and I'll show you the difference in a minute. Got a little something on here from cleaning the stamp, so let me do it one more time. Okay, stamp it right on there. If you need to, you can go back and do the stamping one more time. Like that. This way you can make sure all of your lines are there. Okay, we're going to take it out. I'll clean my stamp later. But what I wanted to show you is a few different things. First of all, since this is archival ink and it's a regular paper, not anything special to it, so you don't have to wait for a very long time for it to dry. So this is a Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers. Comes with 3 different colors. It shows you 1, 2, and 3. So this is the darkest and this is the lightest. It has the number and it tells you even on there too. So we're gonna color our leaves with it. I'm gonna start with the lightest one and cover the leaf all over. And then we'll use the other colors to add shade to it. That's why I like these markers. I think this is an awesome idea, having it all together rather than having to buy lots of markers. Unless you do absolutely a zillion coloring, then your markers probably will dry out too fast for you. But for me, this is perfect. Just color the whole thing. You could leave some whites on the petals if you want. But so then we take the next color, which is the middle one. There's a next marker right in there. So I'm gonna go over lines with it. All these lines. all the dark lines I'm going to go over in this green. Okay, and now I'm going to go back and use the light color again to blend it all. And I'll pull that color out and make it darker. I'm not the best colorer, so I'm still learning how to do this. And then you can go back and use the darkest one and go over and add a little bit more on the lines, and then blend that in with the lightest one one more time, leaving some areas a little bit lighter where you would want highlights on the petals. So don't color everything in. Give it a little bit of space too. Give it some lighter areas. Okay. So that is that with the coloring. See how it's got some lighter, some darker areas. Gives these highlights kind of a thing. So that's why I like these markers. The next step we're gonna do is we are gonna add some of this powder stuff to make it real looking flowers. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a stamen on eBay that I bought. There's a whole little pack. It's not real, it's like fake powder stuff. There. So what I do is I put some glue on it and just stick this thing right in there and let it pick up whatever it needs. Just like that. And then as the glue dries, it's gonna disappear because it's clear glue, and the little powder is gonna stay. Okay, the next one is gonna be, so since this one needs to dry, I don't want to touch any of that powder. I'm gonna leave it to the side. The only thing I was gonna show you, another thing I did is Nouveau crystal drops. These are like raindrops that when you put it on, it's like foggy, but then as it dries, it becomes clear. I'll show you in a minute. So here's what it looks like when you put it on. See, I already got my finger into that thing. See how foggy that is? Right there. Seems weird, right? But when it dries, it becomes clear, like this. See, like up there? See the difference? Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside, let it dry. So, and I put a little bit of white with a white marker to highlight the white a little bit more on this one. We're gonna leave that aside for now. We're gonna go back to the petal we cut out. So what I did with it, remember our molding mats for the leaves? So the thin one the green one. So that's what I'm going to be using here. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to draw lines in here. You can't see them, but you can probably going to be able to see them on the back. Right there. So just like that, you draw some lines in there. Then I found these great markers at Dollar Tree. Metallic markers. They're wonderful. I'm going to put dots on here, just like that, because it's calla lilies. They have little dots on there usually. Just a few. Even though this is like a bronze color, they actually look brown on here. So that's the other thing that I used. And then I just took one of my Sharpies, the thin tip ones, the really thin one. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this so I don't draw on it, out of the way. And you just go, whoop, whoop, and it's drying out. So just draw some quick lines. And what I'm doing it in the shape of my flower, of my petals. See, I'm not doing them all straight. I'm kind of bending it as I go. I'm going to do the edge also because I don't have the stamp to do this. I'm just going to draw it in myself. And the quicker you do it, the better it is, because so your arm doesn't get a chance to do too much. So here's pretty much what we got. It's kind of what the stamp set looked like anyways. If you look on here, that's what I was going for on the die. See how it's kind of the same thing on this one that we're doing, the little one. Kind of the same thing. So now that we're done with doing the actual petal, we need to glue it on. This one's already stamped, so I already did that part. Get these out of the way. So now to fold this, just like any petal, hold the middle and then start bending back the edges. This gives the petal more real look, and it'll be easier to glue it around our stem. Okay, so basically pinch it here, fold it back here, and then kind of undo the other side. Just like that. Now, we're going to put some glue right in the middle here. Okay. And the way we glue it on, just put it right up to where the yellow part is. And then right here, you need to wrap it around a little bit. So do it from one side, basically do a pinch and a little bit of a wrap around it. Just like that. And then what I did, I just let it sit there with my little tweezers holding it. Just like that. You could do one side turned and then you can do the other one if you want. Or you can just do one side. It's kind of up to you how twisted you would like it to be. But as the paper gets wet from the glue, it bends better. So I'm just going to do that and have my little flower glue on there. Gonna let it sit and dry for a little bit while we do the rest. So let's bring back this. Here are my other two finished little color lilies. They're already glued. And we're gonna start gluing these on. So the middle one, I'm gonna make it higher than the rest. Gonna put glue all over to make sure it holds on really well. Okay, just like that. Give it a second to glue on there. the glue to set. So hold it a minute or so to make sure it's on there well. And then take our other flower and do the same thing. Put some glue on top. And then on the petal. If you choose to, you can always do actual pop-up dots too, but do make sure it's not too many of them because the card might not be able to fit in an envelope to be mailed unless you don't mind paying extra for it. Okay, so we're going to put this one a bit lower, just like that, so they're not on the same level. Give it a second to dry. And then our third flower, the one we just made, we're going to put it on here too. Same thing, just put some glue on the back everywhere. That way you know it's going to hold well on here because it is the almost the very top item, so it's going to get the most handling. So make sure it's on there well. And then just put this one just like that. And you can actually use something to hold it in place too if you want. Like this. And give it a second to get stuck on there. Okay, so basically this is what I wanted to show you as a card. But it's up to you, you can leave it just like this. I was thinking of maybe adding some words. I'm not quite sure exactly if I'm going to do this yet or not, but I wanted to give you an option on what you can do. I bought this die, and it comes in 2 pieces. So you get the actual die, it's blessed. I don't know if you can see better on there. So it's meant to do some more stuff than what I'm doing right now. I'm just going to use it as regular. And it comes with the background cutout die. So you can cut out like this, where you can cut out the word and then you have a backing. I don't know if I'm going to do it in black, that's why I haven't fully glued the word yet on here. But that's an option of what you can do. And then you can just put it right on here. Just like that. And that's going to be your finished card.